Two Nottinghamshire Labour MPs have again defended their decision to vote in favour of cutting the winter fuel allowance. Gedling's Michael Payne and Sherwood's Michelle Welsh, who are also county councillors, were speaking in a debate which heard the change would affect almost 150,000 people locally.
A Nottingham man who grew up moving between 100 homes is backing calls for better housing support for youngsters leaving care. The number of young people who leave care and then face homelessness is up sharply. Government figures showing a 50% rise in 18 to 20-year-old care leavers who are struggling to find suitable accommodation between 2019 and 2024. Terry Galloway from Nottingham says one issue is you're not always able to find a place in care in the area you're from.
For kids leaving the care system that are outside of their local authority area, as soon as they get to 18 and that support falls away, they have to be dragged back to their home local authority, back into the chaos and trauma that they experience, because they're not allowed to access housing in the areas that they move to.
A strike by tram drivers in Nottingham has been called off. Wesley Mallin with that story.
The walkout had threatened to disrupt Nottingham's Goose Fair, but late last night the GMB said its members had accepted a pay rise of 8.5% over the next 2 years. The tram operator Net had initially called the pay claim unaffordable. It now says it's working with the union on what it calls a productivity plan.
Good morning. The energy regulator Ofgem is raising the price cap by 10% in October. It means the average household bill will go up by £149 over the course of a year. Dominic O'Connell is Times Radio's business correspondent.
This rise, quite a big rise, 10%, is inconvenient to say the least for the new Labour government, because one of their first acts was to scrap winter fuel payments for pensioners. So many older people will find their power bills much more expensive this winter.
The Energy Secretary Ed Miliband acknowledged it is worrying news for many and says it's evidence of the need for more homegrown power.
Next today, meet the former gambling addicts from Nottingham who are now helping others to quit the habit.
It wasn't just when I was in the bookies, it was the thinking, the planning, and the getting over, the guilt, the remorse.
That's Steve, who's been in recovery for 25 years. Together with Ben Jones, he's founded Time Out, which offers specialist support for those struggling with addiction. Ben says gambling took over his life when he stole £400,000 from his employer.
I would gamble from probably 7 a.m. when I woke up right through till 2, 3 a.m. We like to say it's never too early and it's never too late to get help and almost try to help them reclaim their life and move towards long-term recovery.
A month before the US presidential election, a defiant Donald Trump has returned to the showground in Pennsylvania where he narrowly survived an assassination attempt. He addressed cheering supporters from behind a bulletproof screen. Our correspondent Will Grant sent this report from the rally in the city of Butler.
Security had been significantly ramped up for this event, with surveillance drones flying overhead and Mr. Trump addressing the crowd from behind a bulletproof glass screen.
As I was saying...
In a lengthy speech, Mr. Trump described the gunman who targeted him as a vicious monster who had failed to silence what he called the greatest movement in American history.
Our movement to make America great again stands stronger, prouder, more united, more determined, and nearer to victory than ever before. We're going to make America great again.
The former president also led the crowd in a moment of silence to pay tribute to the man killed during the shooting, before welcoming to the stage Elon Musk.
Who do you want representing America?
The billionaire CEO of Tesla said Mr. Trump must win the election to preserve democracy. The race for the White House remains on a knife edge. The calculation by the Trump camp is that by appearing at the site of the attempt on his life, he will project an image of strength, with a month to go before voting day.
A multi-million